We are on the Revolution Solution Cain Connection bus with the man himself. Thanks for the hospitality. What a sweet ride you have here, Herman.
Hey, I'm happy to be here, Scott. It's my pleasure. Thank you for joining me on this ride. You know, I grew up in the South, and, you know, I used to have to ride in the back of the bus. Now I own the bus, and it's got my picture on the side. It's a lovely thing. That's because this is America, and you can achieve your dreams, and you can go from nowhere to anywhere if you believe in this country and you're willing to work hard enough.
We're so thrilled you're here and doing events today in Fargo and Bismarck tonight.
Establishment, because the establishment is one of the reasons that we don't solve problems the way we should, and this is why we started Solutions Revolution.
Fantastic. Well, we're looking forward to, for one, you give a great speech. You were here not long ago, right when the presidential campaign was kicking off, which was a lot of fun, and folks get a chance to see. And of course, big Republican Party convention this weekend, so a lot of folks will be gathered down in Bismarck, and again, a big dinner tonight at the Municipal Country Club. That'll take place at 6:30 tonight for dinner, and then tomorrow at the Ramcota breakfast at 8 o'clock, and of course today in Fargo at the Radisson Hotel at lunch at 12:15. So lots of chances to see Herman, and of course that website Cain Connections wires them in too, doesn't it?
Yes, you go to Cain Connections and it keeps you up to date not only on where I'm going to be in the various events, and we've got a big event coming up in Washington D.C. on April 15th and 16th, Tax Day and the day after Tax Day, to highlight the fact that we must replace the tax code. We're having a big rally in Washington, D.C. on Monday the 16th, and I encourage people who can get there to please come. We've got to make a statement that we're sick and tired of being sick and tired of the tax code. But yes, we're going to be all over in several places today, helping to support Dwayne Sands, but more importantly, to encourage people to stay involved and inspired. If you are a participant in, don't take it lightly. And folks, if you get an opportunity to vote, please vote. Don't be a part of the problem. Be a part of the solution, but be an informed voter. That's what Solutions Revolution is all about.
All right, we'll take a break. We come back more with Herman Cain as we make our way around the great city of Fargo, North Dakota today, and we'll talk a little bit about this presidential race and some of the things that have occurred in that race. I have a minute left. I'll just quickly get your reaction to Paul Ryan throwing his support to Mitt Romney today.
I think that that's his prerogative to do so, but I think it's a move on the part of the establishment to try and basically end this sooner rather than later. So I think that that's an indication of that.
And it seems to be growing. You had Marco Rubio, and you had President Bush 41. There really seems to, they want to short circuit this. A lot of hand wringing going on in the establishment, isn't there?
Yes, they want to short circuit it because they believe that the sooner that we have the nominee, the better. But they are both pros and cons. The sooner we have the nominee, the sooner that the Democrats and the Obama administration are going to start to destroy our candidates. So there are pros and cons.
All right, we'll talk more about that with Herman Cain aboard the Solutions Revolution bus. Cain Connections, making our way across the great state of North Dakota. Live and direct on the Common Sense Club and the Scott Hennen Show. Short time out, back with more after this. Don't go away. We're back with Herman Cain, who's on the sweetest soil on the face of the earth, God's country of North Dakota. You'd probably take exception and say maybe Georgia owns a little of that claim, maybe, huh?
Well, I'm not going to be real combative about that because you all have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country, so this soil must be pretty good.
We are blessed. We are blessed indeed. Some of those great resources that are coming out of the ground a couple of ways, in oil and agriculture, and it's North Dakota really has an opportunity to show the rest of the country how to do this. My favorite example, you'll like this one, there's a Indian reservation that recently has allowed drilling in a cooperative effort with the state. They had a $200 million debt. Fort Berthold Indian Reservation. Their debt is now zero, and their people are coming back for jobs. So energy production is a big part of the revolution solution, isn't it?
Energy production here in North Dakota, as well as all over the country, is a big part of this whole economy having a revolution and being robust. And one of the reasons that you all are succeeding at being able to take advantage of your natural resources.
Stop you. That's the biggest problem across the country. That's the biggest problem with all of our energy resources, and that's too much interference from the federal government. That's what has to stop, and this is why we've got
to get different people in Washington, D.C.
Talk a little bit about how your life has changed in the last year. Obviously, throwing your hat in this presidential ring and taking it by storm and leading it, and then facing all the criticism that comes with that. And the result, has this been good or bad? Net plus, net minus?
Net plus. When I got in the race, I was seeking the position of president. But when I got out of the race, because it was a coordinated, intended campaign to smear my reputation, and the pain was mostly on my family, and I said family first. But then even after I stopped pursuing the position of president, I'm still on a mission, and that mission is to help maintain control of the United States House, get control of the United States Senate, and to defeat Barack Obama. That's why I'm on this Solutions Revolution bus. That's why I'm supporting people like Dwayne Sand. That's why I'm supporting Neil. That's why I'm supporting a whole lot of people that are running for office around this country. Because change in Washington, D.C. is going to have to come from the people, from the bottom up, from the outside. And it starts with putting some new people on the inside and then keeping the heat on what's going on. So in terms of the number of people that have wanted me to speak, that hadn't slowed down. I still feel like I'm on the campaign trail. I keep trying to remind my people, I'm not running, but I'm out here promoting solutions to America's biggest problems.
I talked to a friend of yours the other day who I won't name on the air because I don't want to reveal anything, but they basically said that, it was a tragedy what was done to your personal reputation, that none of the stuff alleged was true, and that it was just, a sad chapter. Where do I go to get my reputation back? I mean, do you feel like you had a chance to clear all that up?
Yes, it's not over. That's all I'm going to say. First of all, to reassure people, none of it was true. Absolutely wasn't true. But it's not over. We are still looking into trying to collect the dots and connect the dots. That's all I'm going to say at this point, because my reputation is as important to me as anything, as well as the pain that it caused my family. I'm not going to just sit back and pretend that this didn't happen.
Let's talk a little bit about Mitt Romney, who, again, we touched on earlier, seems to be the establishment choice for president, and there seems to be a great deal of pressure going on. You think Paul Ryan, for instance, is under pressure to support Mitt Romney as an example?
I don't think he might be under some pressure, yes, because that's the way the establishment works. But let's talk a little bit about Mitt. Obviously, Mitt has the largest number of delegate votes going into the convention so far. And if the other candidates stay in, he still could possibly not go into the convention with it. Now, let's just take a look at Mitt. There's a lot of people who do not like Mitt Romney. They don't think he can win. I believe that if he gets the nomination, now this isn't an endorsement of Mitt, because remember, I endorsed Newt Gingrich, and his campaign is quite frankly winding down. Mitt can win. People have got to believe that if there's a list of if the base rallies around him, not because of his personality or because you like him or you don't like him, it's not about that. The ultimate mission is to defeat Barack Obama. The second if he adopts many of the good ideas that have come from other candidates during this process. Adopt one of Ron Paul's ideas. Adopt one of Newt Gingrich's ideas. Adopt, one of my ideas. The point is, people can get excited about solutions if he adopts some of the ideas that got our respective supporters excited, because he's going to have to fill that enthusiasm gap, and he's not going to be able to fill that enthusiasm gap with just what he has put on the table.
Talked to Michelle Bachmann yesterday, and she said, we need to rally pretty quick. We need unity pretty quick. I said, why? Can't this go to Tampa? Wouldn't that be a healthy thing? I mean, again, it's more debating about the ideas. It's more about, and it prevents a one-on-one race between Obama and his billions and whoever our ultimate nominee is. She said it can't wait till Tampa. It's too long. It'll hurt the party. Do you agree?
Well, I don't totally agree. Like I said, there are pros and cons to each. First of all, the establishment wants to try to end this sooner rather than when the people want to end it. And if it ends, so be it. But I get back to whether you're talking about we've got 4 more months in order to fight Obama, or whether we've got 3 months to fight Obama, you've got to rally around two things: exposing Obama's failed policies, and secondly, here are the concrete, simple, powerful ideas that that the nominee will have adopted to put on the table. Solutions is what's going to rally the people at this point going into November.
And right now they're not rallying to Mitt Romney, not the Republican conservative faithful. They're rallying to the Herman Cains, the Michelle Bachmanns, Newt Gingrich's, and more recently Rick Santorum. Rick Santorum's crowds are huge. Mitt Romney's are not. That's a problem for Mitt Romney, right?
That's exactly right. This is why I've said that what he's got to do, with all due respect, he's got to adopt many of the ideas that the rest of the candidates and the rest of the competitors have put out during this campaign. That's what people want to see.
So if it did go to Tampa, and Tampa ultimately was a rallying point where all of those ideas from the campaign, from all the candidates, and it became all of you on stage that ran for president saying, this is the guy, Mitt Romney, and we're okay with it, but it's because 999 is part of the economic plan, or Rick Santorum's foreign policy is part of his, go right down the list. We'd be a lot more unified, wouldn't we?
That's how you create unity. You are absolutely right. You don't create unity by asking everybody else to drop out, and then you don't put anything on the table to basically be appealing to the ones, to their supporters. But you're absolutely right. Imagine that picture. All of the candidates standing on stage. I would be happy to stand there with the ultimate nominee if, in fact, they hadn't shut me out of consideration in terms of what the agenda is going to be, what the solution is going to be. And I happen to believe that all of the rest of them will do the same thing. That's how you unify the party and put some enthusiasm back into it going into November.
Which of the two scenarios do you think ultimately happens? Does this thing go to Tampa, or does this thing settle out before that? I mean, the Santorum folks are saying, look, the math is on our side, and we stay in this. He doesn't get to 1144. Newt has said all along, get done with all the states, take the 2 months to decide who ought to be the best and settle this at the convention. I mean, is your gut tell you we go that way, or we settle this before?
My gut says it's still 50-50, and here's why. Go all the way back to when this primary process started. It has been unpredictable all along. They couldn't predict Iowa because it was like a three-way tie. And then you had New Hampshire. I was in second place. I was in position to come in second place in New Hampshire. I was leading in the polls in South Carolina. And so Newt won South Carolina. Mitt won Florida because he put a lot of money into Florida. It's been very unpredictable. So at this point, I'm not going to predict whether it's going to go to Tampa go to Tampa and we don't have a presumptive nominee, or whether it's going to end soon.
Fascinating. Glad you're here, Herman. Take care.
Thank you, Scott. It's my pleasure. I'm looking forward to seeing the people all over North Dakota today.
God bless you. Lunch today at the Radisson, tonight in Bismarck at the Municipal Country Club, dinner, and then Saturday, tomorrow morning, Ramcota Hotel, Bismarck, $19.99. I notice there's 3 9s in that price tag. What a deal. It's a beautiful thing. Sandforsenate.com, or just show up at the door and get your tickets to see the great Herman Cain.